Hey, what's up, everyone? So let's talk about what we're going to be watching to possibly day trade on Monday, July 14th. I always want to start with this. I'm going to leave that hanging for a bit, and if you haven't read it yet, pause the video and then read it. A lot of new faces in chat. I want everybody to understand what we're all about. And before I get into what I want to watch on Monday, I always try to give a couple hat tips. Well, this one has to go. I have to give this hat tip to Nicholas, who gave the idea of INKT over 22.90, and it literally went to 76. It was a $53.10 move. The risk was about 3 cents because once it triggered, you had to go low of day stop. Didn't I don't even think it ever looked back. To be fair, I didn't get this. I'm generally not trading in the first few minutes, but that's got to be call of the day. One that I did get was a great post by Sahil on UMAC, which we kind of all decided early the drone stocks were in play, and it actually gave plenty of time for everyone to get. I wouldn't look at INKT and say everyone should have had that, right? Because it happened 3 or 4 minutes in. But SBET we all had UMAC we all had time to get, and that was there's the opening candle that topped out at 1098, kind of flagged sideways. The second 5-minute candle topped at 1070. So Sahil's idea was just through 1075, which is basically right where my cursor is here, and the stop was below this candle. Worst case, actually, I would argue probably 30 cents risk on it, 35 cents maybe. Anyway, it didn't come close to stopping out either, and went to 1311. But again, an easier one for anyone who wanted it to get, because you had the sideways consolidation after the opening candle. Drones were in play, and the entry and your stop goes down here, and it just kind of ran most of the day. Great call, great post by Sahil, and that's an example of spotting the early in play sector, which was drones. We talked about it in pre-market, and I'd actually think I'd put this in the video going into Friday on Thursday night, because the news came out after hours Thursday. So anyway, there's a couple really great calls in chat on Friday. I love the way, hat tip to you guys, the way you guys root out and find the in-play sectors, the in-play stocks, and then wait for the A-plus setups. Teamwork's fantastic. So let's talk about what we're going to watch on Monday for possible trades. And I'm going right back to the drone sector, RCAT. Had a nice pop. I already look at this and say, okay, well, here's the whole number 9, and Friday's high was 906, and then you have a recent high back here of 949. So you do kind of have a stacked catalyst scenario in an in-play sector. So I definitely want to watch that one. Another drone play, which has only been public, since June 13th. Probably the lowest float drone play out there. And it's kind of gone sideways after the initial craziness the first couple days. It's kind of gone sideways, and now this is a breakout. I certainly think that's a great possibility for a continuation play. Lower priced drone stock is real close to a daily chart breakout, so that one we want to watch. HSAI, believe this is a Chinese stock with LiDAR related, and it had a nice breakout on Friday, and you still had this 2418 above as a potential catalyst, so we want to keep a close eye on that. Speaking of, I already showed you UMAC, but I want to have that one on watch for a continuation day also. I love that massive volume breakout, and it's got news and sector strength behind it, right? FTFT, Bitcoin related, very strong day. SLNH also had a Bitcoin headline on Friday morning. As I'm babbling, I'm gonna glance at Bitcoin, see what it's doing right now. Holding up really well. It's real close to 119,000. So Bitcoin stocks all should be on watch, and anything even with the headline. METC had this big pop on Thursday, inside day on Friday. It looked like in after hours this thing ran a bit more, so it's certainly worth keeping on watch. There's been some videos out there where they're like the only U.S. Rare earth play that is getting ready to start mining, or say, double check the headlines, but it's certainly in play as well, and kind of not as well known as some of the other rare earth plays. So Poet, P-O-E-T, had this gap up on Thursday, inside day on Friday. It certainly extended, but let's keep that one on watch. WKHS, I never thought this would be on one of my watch lists again, because up until this last week or so, this is one of those stocks that could never get going and had a big rip on Friday. Also extended. I'm not sure why it's running. I couldn't find a headline, but we're going to watch it. That's WKHS. Kodak, Kodk, had a nice volume spike back here, which would have been, probably Tuesday, and then sideways, and it's starting to push back up. And if I put this horizontal line there, it's kind of close to a little chart break there. So let's watch KODK. TSSI, I believe, is AI related. Had a really strong move here. Now you've got 4 solid days in a row down. That's a clean chart look for a potential bounce play. And you guys know we only play bounce plays with a bounce play intraday setup that we teach. We may not get one, so there may be no trades in it. BBAI, also AI related, and also 4 days in a row down, getting near the 20-day. Could be ready to turn back up. And then back to Bitcoin, BT has had a really strong move from down here under $2 to 430. Now you got 4 red days in a row. And if Bitcoin continues, this one could be a great bounce play as well. That's all I've got. I'll see you guys in the pre-market where we'll add some gappers to this list. And enjoy the rest of your Sunday, and let's have a great week.